The content discussed on this show is not necessarily the opinion of the cast of Spiritually Raw, and topics quite often are for mature audiences only. So, if you happen to have your 13-year-old listening in, that's your problem now.
This is Spiritually Raw, the ass-whipping truth, where spirits meet skeptics and consciousness connects. Together we expose and explore controversial truths, myths, and theories surrounding the spirit world. Special guests range from psychic mediums to Catholic priests and everyone in between. Be prepared for a cataclysmic collision of energy. Now here are your hosts, AJ and April Mata.
Hello everybody and welcome to Spiritually Raw. Thank you very, very much. Right on, right on, right on. If you'd like to tune into your latest and greatest, it's on spirituallyraw.tv waiting for you anytime you would like to watch it, wherever you're at in the world. You can also follow us on Twitter, /Spiritually Raw, and check us out on Facebook at Spiritually Raw TV. Got a great show planned for you today, the 9th dimension, so we're going to get into that in just a little bit. And really got another great jam-packed show for you today. So before we get into everything, what do you say we all go raw?
It's time for the Raw Factor. During this segment, potential guests have the opportunity to deliver their message, showcase their personality, and share with the audience and cast why they will be a credible and entertaining source of information. Now, back to you, April.
All right, up the first this morning, Elizabeth Manuel. She says, my experiences led me to make huge changes in my life and develop classes to teach about angels and listening to your intuition. Elizabeth offers insight and ideas and principles that will reshape your vision of what is possible, assist you in uncovering hidden behaviors that hold you back from the full potential of living happiness and well-being. She's the author of 2 books and 6 CDs, including Living with the Angels and Finding Happiness.
Okay, Elizabeth, welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Living with the Angels and Finding Happiness, Elizabeth. So how does one go about doing that?
Well, what happened for me was an experience that I couldn't rationally explain, and up until that time, I've been living more from my head, you could say, than my heart. And when I realized that we do all receive intuitive messages and we can listen, what I found is it makes our life so much more pleasant. We can save time, we can save money, we can save frustration by listening to our intuitive self, which comes through whatever you'd like to call it, spirit or God. It doesn't matter what name we give it. And since I have been walking the journey of listening, I've also discovered what the soul and the science of happiness is, and my life has exponentially become so much more powerful and wonderful and thrilling. Every day is much more of a joy to wake up to.
What happened in your life that, altered these huge changes?
Well, the catalyst for me, and this was about 10 years ago now, I think around 10, was I had been working at the same job for 20 years. And it wasn't an exceptional job, it was an ordinary job. And I was very afraid to leave that job. I was a single parent and I didn't have a lot of confidence or hope in what I could do. And one day I'm parking in the parkade for work and I received this, I'll use the word audible message. It was like somebody was speaking to me inside of my own head and said, don't park here, your car is going to get stolen. So what do you think I did?
You parked there,
you
right?
Parked the car there.
I parked there.
Okay.
And when I came out of work at 5, so 9 hours later, I had no car. And for me, that was a catalyst into a whole new life experience because I realized all of the times I had been receiving messages that were trying to help me live a better life. And because I was so locked into who I thought I was, it took a big experience to make that shift, to understand that there really is a power and presence in this universe that we can tap into and use for our greater good.
Yeah, your car being stolen
Because
would do that.
well, a lot of people would just say it was coincidence.
What, the whole, like, the car getting stolen?
Yeah.
Oh, but she said she got a message, though.
No, what I'm saying is a lot of people would take that as, which was just a stupid coincidence,
Yeah, well,
and again, keep missing messages.
So let me ask you something here. Do you actually see the angels now? Are you at that point?
So there's four different ways of seeing, and we call them clairvoyance is the one you're talking about, which is seeing. I don't see visibly like that. So more for me, it's clairsentience, which is feeling, or clairaudience, which is hearing. And so I talk about how we all have a primary way of feeling or seeing or experiencing the messages that come from spirit. And for not very few people, in fact, have what we call clairvoyance, which is seeing.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this here, Elizabeth. So when you get this feeling from them, and we had someone on the show before that. Remember the lady that was talking about the angels, but she was talking about them as nasty angels.
Mm-hmm. Mischievous
little devils or angels like that. But there's some angels out there that she communicates with that are there actually to provide like misinformation to throw you off, right?
Not so much. It wasn't misinformation. It was they force you. They keep pushing you to. Really, what I think her message was, these angels, not that they were negative angels, but what she was saying, there are angels out there that keep pushing you, not in a negative way, but to help get you to the next level. But they can be very, what was the word she used?
Forceful?
Not forceful. It was like almost like a nudge, like a nuisance.
Like a nuisance. Do you get that experience from when you get that vibe when
mischievous?
I think it was mischievous.
Elizabeth,
no, it wasn't mischievous.
Do you get that vibe when you're talking to the angels that they're like a pain in the ass sometimes?
Yeah.
For me, that would be what I'd say is a very, very rare experience. I think that there is. I use angels as expressions of who God is or who Spirit is, which is a presence that is everywhere, and I consider it a loving and perfect intelligence. So here's one example from my life. I was very resistant to writing my first book, Living with the Angels. And one day I decided to go watch TV, I was going to watch a movie, which is something I don't really do very often. And I went and had a brand new DVD player, and it wouldn't read my DVD. And I thought, well, I'll just watch an old VHS. And I put the VHS in the machine, and the machine got stuck. And then I thought, well, I'll just watch TV. Mm-hmm. And the TV, like, there was nothing. So it was like this strong message, and in my head I could hear, just go right. Just go right. So it was like, I'd say, yes, you could experience what we might call roadblocks, but I see them as very loving guidance.
So how long did it take you from the time that you had the car episode to writing your book?
Well, that was still a couple of years. I needed a couple more experiences. Again, I was really resistant to leaving my job. Even though I was unhappy, I'd go to work, I'd be crying every day. And so what happened, the universe, this is what I call the universal kick in the ass. The universe brought me in a new boss, and we couldn't get along. And so basically I had to go. And I would not have gone had I not been forced to go. So if we talk about the universe or angels or God helping us, nudging us along, as you might say, sometimes those experiences don't seem positive in the moment. Mm-hmm. But if it not for that, I might still actually be there and not be living this beautiful life I get to live today.
Okay, right on, cool. So this beautiful life you live today, does it encompass everything that human beings need? I mean, does it have you the loving relationship? Does it have you the financial freedom? I mean, do you feel you're having more of those things that are happening in your life because of this?
Absolutely. I did manifest an incredible relationship, and now with my writing and coaching and speaking career, it's truly living in my passion, which is why I talk about happiness so much now. And what is happiness? It's an internal way of looking at the world. So it's not, most of my life up until my mid-30s, I was looking for happiness out there. It will be in my next job. It will be in the new car. It will be in the house renovation. And all of those things continue to happen, and I was never happier until I realized that it is about feeling supported and in recognizing who we are as spiritual beings.
Is that what you mean by the soul of happiness?
Well, the soul of happiness for me is about recognizing that our heart is very important. Our soul is the part of us that, in my belief system, our soul is never ending. So my soul is now living in this body, and my soul will continue to live even after this body stops living.
You know, Elizabeth, you said something. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I think of soul as being more of our higher self or our higher purpose, the part of us that is connected to Source, as opposed to our intellectual self.
You said something, which a lot of people do, is they're always like, well, maybe that next job, maybe that next date, maybe that next car, maybe that next, and a lot of people, and then you hear these people saying, okay, well, no, just be happy where you're at, but I guess it's not so, I guess a light bulb kind of came off for me there, because, because like what she was saying, right? So, because, we've had people in here, they're like, well, no, just be really happy where you're at, and then you can kind of take that as like, well, does that mean not to grow? Yeah. You know what I mean? Does that mean not to grow? But I don't think it's about that from hearing her. It's just like, listen, just, because I think a lot of people lose sight of what the present is. Mm-hmm.
I agree. So being present is a core component, enjoying what's going on, and that we are continuously growing, and we can't help, there's this urge to grow in us and to listen and heed that higher self. And when we expand the inner world of our heart, we come alive, and we really can experience what is possible. And how some ways that we can do that is through meditations, is through the process of forgiveness. Like, there's many things that we can do that help clear us so that we are happier in this moment, and we continue to expand and grow into, I'll say, a greater version of who we're becoming.
Okay, and if you'd like to be happier in your moments also, all you got to do is go to the Raw Factor tab and give a big fat yes vote to Elizabeth, and post your comments on this. Elizabeth, thank you for being
good.
Yeah, very good. Thanks for being on the show with us. And we're going to take a quick break, everybody, and when we come back, our first featured guest, so hang tight.
Well, I like country mixed with rock and roll, 'cause together the funky down to your soul.
There was a love destined before time, truly greater than all others. She was the Lady Justice, and he was her Jack, the infamous Jack of Diamonds. This was the time of the first Earth, when pure evil ruled. Read their incredible story in Lou Hemsey's new book, The Legend of Justice and Diamonds, chronicled by Escelis as instructed by God.
Imagine a host of higher-minded spirits who often spoke to you, revealing the deeper truths of life. Journey with author PRECIADO Rich through her paranormal fiction novel, My 333rd Life on Planet Earth. Meet Zoe Lynn and her spirit companions from the 9th dimension as they shine light on the hidden truths of how and why humans behave in the painful ways we do. Read and learn as they teach how to create a more loving and compassionate life on this beautiful place called Earth. Purchase My 333rd Life on Planet Earth at Amazon.com.
Raised in a cult-like church and living in a hypnotic state of mind, Les Schmidt suffered a complete breakdown at age 23. Believing money to be the answer to his dreams, by 30 he became a big-time illegal drug manufacturer, which landed him 6 years in federal prison with 7 daughters to care for. Utilizing his time in prison for spiritual growth allowed him to quickly reinvent himself. Les has dedicated his life to personal excellence and a master of empowering people to become the authentic self that is truly you. Read his real-life story, The Truth, Finding Your Own Truth, an adventure of romance, sex, drugs, love, betrayal, and how he broke away from the religious traps to overcome the bad choices and create the life you inspire to. Purchase The Truth, Finding Your Own Truth at lesschmidt.com.
Well, I like country mixed with rock and roll. 'Cause together the funky down to your soul.
All right, everybody, and welcome back to Spiritually Raw. Thank you very much. That was the lovely Elizabeth Manuel from Canada. She was good. I liked her, didn't you?
I thought it was very
She said some
good.
cool stuff, though. She looks
Actually, I thought it was better than I thought it was going to be.
it was better than you thought it was going to be. Right on.
I thought it was going to be kind of boring.
No. She's got some good stuff. Like I
liked
said, I
it a
got
lot.
that light bulb that came off for me. I think. So anyway, let us know on that one, everybody. Hey, let's talk about our first featured guest.
Yes, Mickey Jacobs. Now, she ain't boring, let me tell you something. She's a psychic, a medium, and a spiritual healer, born and raised in Israel in a traditional Jewish home. At the end of a 3-year service in the Israeli army, she moved to the United States, owned her own business for 18 years, and discovered her mediumship abilities along the way.
Okay, let's welcome Mickey to the show.
Oh, and by the way, she's also produced 2 CDs, both titled We Are Never Alone.
Okay, now let's welcome Mickey to the show. Hello, Mickey.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thanks a lot for
morning.
inviting me back.
Oh, yeah. No, it's always good to have you back. So
Thank you.
Yeah, let's.
You know what I thought we should do, guys? I thought
tell us.
yeah, that's kind of refreshing.
Yeah, let's
I
do
thought what we can do is I can kind of comment back on the comment I got from the result show, because
okay.
that would lead me kind of to what it is I want to talk about. Because I think the pre-interview was kind of scattered for us, me and you guys. Because I had kind of a short time, and half of it we talk about demons, which
Yeah.
are not my specialty.
Okay. What specifically did you want to talk about?
What? Yeah.
Well,
What comment was that, Mickey?
Well, first of all, because I think that a lot of people can learn from the 3 topics. So the first topic was one of the people, I don't remember, which of course were all lovely and beautiful energy. And one of them said that she just kind of don't like mediums. I mean, there's bad name out there. And what I would like to say about that real quick, and so we won't turn off people to mediumship, which is a true and obviously helpful gift, is that it's an industry like any industry. So obviously there are some unauthentic mediums out there. So I kind of understood her where she just, no, I don't want to get a medium back. But
That was like Shanae, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's important because mediumship, the gift exists from back then, eons of lifetimes ago. So obviously, I kind of thought I just going to touch the subject about that. So
let me ask you a question then. How can someone find an authentic medium? How will they know that they're getting a good reading?
You get facts, April. You get facts. You get things that you wouldn't know. I tell people in my readings things that I don't possibly know. I also get only their first name. I'm not interested for my mind to interfere. I don't want email. I don't want Facebook. I don't want anything. And I give private detail from the past and the present. So if those details are accurate, then the future will be. Another thing that was mentioned there is that how come a medium cannot say the future? Of course, this is not a fortune telling, which when I said that to my introduction to sitters or clients that are new, sure, it's not a fortune telling. I mean, you know, they seal for me a lot of things that the client's supposed to learn by themselves. So reading is kind of direct us ever so gently towards the right purpose or the right direction, but it's up to us to learn. Again, it's not a fortune telling. And again, what's important is listen to your intuition. You can tell. Like I believe you and AJ kind of knew I'm authentic. Did you not?
You think we're authentic?
No, I'm saying you thought I was authentic by my energy.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
There's
yeah.
no question,
You know
no
what?
question about it. Or you want me back.
Yeah, you know what?
Precisely.
We never would have had you back.
Precisely my point. Precisely my point. We all have that sixth sense, which is as well part of my teaching. So listen to what they say. I mean, if it's a 2 minutes telling you about your lifeline from a psychic online, then beware of that and be cautious.
Okay, Mickey,
obviously.
let me ask you this, because here, and let's since we're hot on the topic on this one, you know, everybody on Facebook, everybody all over social media in today's world is a psychic or a medium, okay? So, you know, do you find, though, that, you know, you coming from another part of the world, okay, you being from Israel, do you find that it's more prevalent and it's more authentic on that side, or do you feel like it's just as, you know, just everybody's doing it everywhere around the world?
It's people, AJ. It's people. And you know what's funny? I'm going to touch it real quick because I don't want to run out of time. My accent is my soul chose that accent when I came here to do that work. I know it's weird to a lot of listeners, so just open your mind. In order for people to listen to what it is I have to choose. It's not because I'm Israel, it's just because I have respect, tremendous respect to the spirit world, to angel, to my work. So no, there is a lot of colleagues I have all over the world, and Americans, of course, that are extremely authentic. It's like a lot of people are hurting for money, and instead of choosing being secretary, they think they might be good in mediumship. It's up to the client to be open and aware. But that, it's kind of bother me, not in a personal level, of course not. When she was mentioning the topics, it's a medium, let's not call her back. Of course not. Besides, I'm as well at spiritual teaching.
There
so
you go. Bust right through it, Mickey. There you go, girl. Hey, Mickey, let me ask you this. When you think of a medium, okay, you think of specifically talking to people that have passed over a lot of times, but does a medium also connect with the guides, the angels, or anything? Or,
fairies.
you know, fairies?
Psychic, the eyes. Those are psychic. That's why I call myself psychic medium. A psychic connect to beings, spirit, which is a team, as I call them, which is one of my biggest teaching. I call it We Are Never Alone. So as a psychic, I connect people to their team, which are a group of spirit that we each have our own personal team, which is quite a wonderful concept, meaning when we incarnate into the physical body, every journey, we have beautiful, helpful, powerful, wise of group of spirit that I kind of call them a team over the years. So that's the psychic part of my work. Mediumship is connecting specifically to departed loved one. So you can be indeed just a psychic, or you can be indeed just a mediumship, and you can be both.
So let me ask you something. You say we're never alone.
Yes.
So does that mean literally we're never alone? Like, for example, let's say Jay and I are having dinner. Just, you know.
Or on this show.
Yeah, or here in the studio. Does that mean literally that there would be past spirits that would either be sitting down at the dinner having dinner with us, although we really can't see them, or that they may literally be sitting in the chair in front of us watching us do the show right now?
You cannot see them. I can.
They
literally.
like to watch.
Literally, there are a group of spirit, those call our permanent team, which include the spirit guide. We each have a spirit guide. Those are our eternal teachers, as they refer to them. They incarnate with us hundreds and hundreds of lifetimes. We do not remember them, April, because we have a spiritual amnesia, as I call it. When we incarnate into planet Earth, we're clueless. Why is that we're clueless? Because we're supposed to rediscover, remember who we are, remember the higher self, which is the energy of the soul in the body. It's called enlightenment. Other members of the teams are the guardian angel, and we have an assigned archangel. They never leave us, never. I actually asked them over
does that mean literally then, as we speak right now, there's somewhere in this room?
Literally, April. You have your own team. AJ have his own team. I have my own team. Elizabeth has her own team, and so do I.
All right, Team Spiritually Raw, let's go. Let's make this happen here. All right, cool. So let me ask you, Mickey, does the amount of the team, are they similar to each soul, or are they different per person?
Does it fluctuate?
Pardon me. Go ahead, April. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, does it fluctuate?
It fluctuates as first of all, the permanent team are the one that never leave us. It's important to me in my teaching to tell people that there are a lot of other beautiful beings, helpful, wise, other spirit guides, archangel, guardian angel, that come in and out our life, departed loved ones. But the permanent team, usually we have one spirit guide, a sign archangel, and one guardian angel. Now, when I started my work, I had extra guardian angel in order to kind of guard or rather shield me from other energies because I do so much work. It also has to do with the incarnation that the soul choose. If it's a risky incarnation, if it's a tough incarnation, obviously some incarnations are lighter than others. So it does fluctuate a bit, but usually I do see one spirit guides, archangel, guardian angel. Is it plenty? It's enough.
Okay.
Powerful, strong, and wise.
I do have a question.
I said, there are others.
I do too, so go ahead.
So,
Go ahead, Jay.
now, you say that we have them that are always with us. Do they only have us, or do they also watch over other people at the same time?
Oh, good question. AJ, the guardian angel and spirit guides stay with us from the moment we enter planet Earth until we leave. The archangel are higher in awareness meaning they are able to split their energy and be with million other human beings. For example, I have Archangel Michael as my assigned archangel, as well as April. That's who her assigned archangel is. Apparently, April, the reason he assigned himself to you, because you used to be consumed with fears.
Oh, that's definitely true. Wait a minute, don't go. I have questions now.
Hold on a second. We got to take a quick break, everybody.
Hold on, she was talking about me.
Forget about you. We got to take a break for a second. All right, we'll get back to you, but I want to find out who my archangel is, so hopefully we can get an answer to that. Jamie, don't you want to know who your archangel is too?
Absolutely.
All right, maybe me and Jamie can get an archangel name.
I just changed my question.
Hey, everybody, we got to take a quick break. We'll be right back. More with Mickey Jacobs. Hang tight. You do not want to miss this.
I like country mixed with rock and roll. 'Cause together the funky down to your soul.
Are you ready to transform your life and release your inner magic?
Imagine what it would be like to let go of worry and live life where you feel inspired and motivated to take purposeful action. Experience a profound evolution and come into your power at www.forestwitch.com. May the music begin! This month's special, buy a 4-hour session and get a 4-hour session free. ISW Recording Studio, the most comfortable and modern studio on the East Coast. Visit us today at iswrecordingstudio.com.
The Memory of Vinegar and Oil, Origins Unified. Journey with Dr. Ellie Day on her personal quest to help loved ones cope with suicide, cults, homosexuality, amongst life's many other challenges. You will also laugh and cry as she shares her experiences of living with the orangutans from Borneo and teaching language to the dolphins in Hawaii. The Memory of Vinegar and Oil will share with you why you are who you hate. Go to www.booklocker.com and order your copy today.
Well, I like country mixed with rock and roll.
everybody, and welcome back to Spiritually Raw. You notice April clapping there. She just got told that she's got Archangel Michael. Go ahead, go get it out of your system. Go ahead.
Okay,
me and Jamie are next.
You said, okay, I want to make sure I understand what you said.
Yes, make her repeat.
The Archangel Michael is my guy?
A sign archangel, not spirit guide. It's two completely different
The big
things.
guy. He's the big guy.
He's a big he's your archangel.
He's the big kahuna. Now,
He's the big kahuna.
Right. You said because of the fact that I used to fear everything. Was that correct?
You incarnated into planet Earth this incarnation because your weakness, among others, obviously, like all human beings, are fears. Archangel Michael is the archangel of... Honey, he's telling you that you got better, you still have a lot of fear, and you kind of got a bit more...
The what?
Apparently, you're a little bit kind of not kind of creature of habit. Like he tried to make you more flexible and less fearful. And he's by your right side. That's where Archangel Michael stands in human being, and his color is blue.
So, I'll tell you, you are 100% right, because I used to even sometimes I even fear my own shadow. I was afraid of everything. I mean,
I know, April.
I was constantly
You actually failed in other life. You failed. Every lifetime you come to planet Earth, you failed. Obviously, April have other strengths, so you get that. But you failed. So Archangel Michael... among other things, that's not the only thing he helped, obviously, but he helped human beings that need his help through fears. So just so you know, he is your assigned archangel.
Right on, babe. Right on. You got Archangel Michael.
Much.
Okay, enough about you.
I already feel better and stronger and less
Hey guys, don't waste all my time on that, because it's important to me to get to the last comment.
Okay, we'll let you get to that, but real quick, can me and Jamie get an Archangel name?
Yes, and you, AJ, and you said Jimmy?
Jamie.
Jamie.
Jamie, sorry.
Yep.
You have Archangel Gabriel. Now, let me tell you for what reason. Archangel Gabriel, kind of rushing it, he's, among other things, he's the Archangel of strength, meaning people human beings on planet Earth that kind of forgot the strength of their soul, so he helped them extract that out. That would be you, Jamie. And it's kind of like you're extremely powerful human being, and perhaps let the ego take over, and he's helping you to rediscover the power of your soul, so to speak. Are you climbing rapidly in your spirituality kind of last few years?
Yeah, I've kind of evolved more in the last few years, definitely.
That's right. You're climbing up, and he's helping you. He stands by your left side, and his color is red. Those are not their name. It's not his name, Archangel Gabriel or Michael. Human being gave them those names. But I go by their color. Archangel have their own color, which how I recognize who I'm channeling. You, AJ, have Archangel Gabriel because you can do what I do. You can hear spirit, and he's the messenger of the souls, and he's helping you to listen. You get that? You're a little bit spiritually, kind of, AJ, a little bit. Don't be angry at me, because I'm just a messenger.
Never get angry at you.
Okay.
Never angry. No anger on this show.
You're a little bit kind of spiritually lazy, meaning you need to meditate.
No, you're so right about that.
You need to meditate more, because you need to sharpen that gift.
Mickey, you were so right about that.
He would be the world, if he put his mind to it, or if he really, he would be better than John Edwards.
You know what, Mickey? I tell you, you're right about that, and I think about it, and I totally am spiritually lazy. I'm such.
That's why I'm telling you, you can do what I do.
No, you call me on the carpet on that, babe. I am.
You could do what she does. You hear that?
Oh,
well,
she definitely. Yeah,
only Mickey can do what Mickey does, because Mickey is.
Can I go to my
Of course you can. Thank you. It's Mickey.
Okay,
absolutely.
I'm sorry, I don't want to waste my time like
that.
that.
All right, go ahead.
Trust me, you're not going to waste your time. We'll give you more time if we have to.
Now, let me please keep in mind that, again, I don't remember who said that, if it was the judge or the doctor, I don't remember. And of course, I'm not, it's important to kind of a jump start on a conversation, which is a huge part of my teaching, which is religious. Now, when she heard that I'm from Israel and I'm Jewish and I did what I did, what she said to you guys, she turned her back on God And now I'm afraid that she opened herself up for demons.
That was judgy.
I'm sorry,
yes.
but what does that mean, guys?
I'm so glad you brought that up because I
mean, what does that mean, April?
I didn't know where
with
she was
all
going
due
with that.
respect. And please know that my job is to promote peace and love, being obviously a spiritual teacher as a medium. So by no means that I mean disrespect to that beautiful human being.
Yeah.
But it's bother me because that's my point about teaching about religious. It's harsh, it's rigid, it's negative. What does that mean? That I turn myself to God because as a Jewish person, I distance myself a little bit from the ridiculous rules and regulations that some of the religious have, and I decided to pray from home instead of synagogue. I see thousands of people in my line of work. I do the same thing. That does not mean we turn ourselves in God. And it certainly doesn't mean we open ourselves to demons, which whatever that means. So I thought that would be a kind of, because I do that a lot in interviews, and I'm thinking, what is she saying? And obviously, remember guys, I was too busy, so I couldn't come to the show, and I'm thinking, okay. So I want to tell your listeners that if you're one of those people that grew spiritually and kind of distance yourself from your religious, even Jesus say, God is within. You do not have to go to church to praise the source. So you don't open yourself to demons. Are they demons? Sure, they're demons. They're nasty entities. But if you grow spiritually, spirituality works like a mirror. You get what you project. So if you grow and you attract the light, you have no fear of attracting demons.
That reminds me of something I heard in a movie one time where God said that He's everywhere. If you look under a rock, He's there. You know, He's in the trees. He's in the wind. He's inside of you. He's you know, you don't have to go to church. You know.
And I just didn't like that fearful bass. I hear it all the time, and I'm thinking, why is she scaring the people? I love the source the same as she does, and what's that got to do with me being Jewish? I mean, I kind of had a discussion with my beloved husband after that, and I'm thinking, what does that even mean? So I'm going to say I'm going to use spiritually raw to talk about it.
No, this is the best place to talk about it. And thank you for coming. You know, Mickey, I often say this, and tell me what you think when it comes to, you know, because you do hear comments, and I love the judge. I mean, she's been with us forever, but I also,
absolutely.
But I also don't. But I hear, you know, try to remain objective on it. You know, if there's this concept of, let's say, God and evil, or good and evil, if you would, something inside me makes me almost think if there's some sort of trickery there, something inside me seems like we've got the roles reversed, if that makes sense to you, meaning that the projection of organized religion as good is actually really the bad, and it's being projected as good, but it's really the opposite. And I don't mean it seems like such an odd statement, but if there is a devil
or a Satan
if there is
AJ, April, it's a separator. You cannot fight in the name of God. You know, Jewish people really believe, with all due respect, of course, the Orthodox Jewish or the Jewish, that they're going to cross over and they're going to go to the right and everyone else to the left because they're the chosen people. Christian thinks that if they do not believe in Jesus, they won't enter heaven, whatever that means. And Muslim thinks that if they strap a bomb on themselves and they'll kill a bunch of kids and women, they'll see 7 virgins in heaven. It's ridiculous. The religious, let me tell you real quick, it's important for your listening to hear. The soul choose a religion to incarnate into as a jump start for spirituality. When we come to planet Earth, we choose religion from the soul's perspective. The soul writes it within the blueprint. For whatever reason, perhaps I chose to belong to Jewish because obviously I chose my parents. Look, I teach now about that. So it's not, it's too many rules. It's rigid. Look how negative and fearful she was. I left and I turned my back to God. That's bad. Of course it's a separator. Those are rules that human being wrote. Is there something in between all religion that connect? Yes. One source. That's it.
Speaking of this one source, does this one source give us both the good and evil within ourselves? So, as an extension of it, so as they say, like the God is within you, is there also this concept of the devil within you, Mickey?
The devil within us, Angel. The real demons is the nasty ego. Ted Bundy was a demon. Is the nasty ego. Don't underestimate the word ego. Ego is not discipline. would go far and destructive. Yes, there is negative within us. Yes, I told you there's also nasty entity outside. But if your ego are not disciplined, if it's nasty alongside those entity that it's going to attract, here you go with the demons. Which is why we're here, to grow. Why do you think the ego is there? A lot of people kind of ask me, Mickey, you said the source is so great and wise. Why is the ego there? Because human beings are lazy species, and we need an opponent.
That's so true. We are lazy. We are lazy.
Is it also there to for balance reasons?
Absolutely, April. The ego, the negative part of the mind, the personality, whatever you call it. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a name. So, yes, it's there so we rise above it. It's an opponent. Pay attention as your life go by, guys, and listeners. Pay attention. The more you try to climb, the more the fight of its life, the ego they're going to give you. It's designed like that. It's in order for us to climb above it. That's why souls love planet Earth. Love it. There are other planets, beautiful, calm, relaxing. Planet Earth, perfect school because of the nasty ego. However, if the ego not disciplined, you can rape, you can murder, you can steal, and here are the demons within.
Mickey, these other planets that you talk about that are calm, if you would, are those more of an evolved? Is that where you go to when you're more evolved? Let's say.
That is correct.
Okay, gotcha.
That is
so
correct.
do they have similar existences, such as do they eat? Do they have the same type of feelings, if you would, emotions, or?
How weird do you want me to be?
Hey, listen, you're on Spiritually Raw. Go.
Well, I've seen some of the planets. Some of them are just weird. You know, it's all ocean. A lot of them are animals. They're very advanced. We sometimes go to the moon to relax. You know, it's funny that I was ready to kind of channel what's in the moon. So I was sitting with my automatic writing with specifically my spirit guide, or one of them. And he's like, and nothing, I don't hear anything. I'm like, what's going on? He said, well, what do you want me to say? It's nothing. So the point is that we go there as soul. Yes, there are a lot of all kind of different planets. Planet Earth is the harshest of all. Obviously, you don't in a reading or an interview open the TV. So that's what it is. But everything has a reason for it. The politics, everything has a spiritual reason as to why it is the way we are right now as a human race.
Right.
And it all has to do with the collective awareness of the human species as well as each one of us.
Mickey
So
Jacobs.
we are where we're supposed to be despite of the chaos.
Mickey Jacobs, everybody. Mickey, I would love to have you back on the show again.
We'll have a part 2.
Where can everybody
and probably a part 3, 4, and 5.
Where can everybody find out how to get connected with you, Mickey?
It's MickeyJacobs.com, M-I-K-I Jacobs, and basically everything is really there, so that's really about it.
And you can find her on spirituallyraw.tv and .com, everybody. We got to take a quick break. Mickey, thanks for being on with us.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome, dear. And when we come back, everybody, our next featured guest, hang tight.
Well, I like country mixed with rock and roll. 'Cause together the funky down to your soul.
Heal and release phobias, traumas, and behavioral problems without hypnosis or medication. Fast Road to Happiness explains benefits of conscious past life regression and teaches the principles of reincarnation and karma. Learn how the mystery of life and the missing link will help you achieve happiness and success for life here and hereafter.
Purchase your copy of Fast Road to Happiness at Barnes & Noble or Amazon.com.
What really happened before Adam and Eve? Who are the Preadamites? Learn about a kingdom that speaks to you from beyond time. Go on the adventure of your life. An epic journey you will not forget. The Kingdom of Saguenay. Order the Kingdom of Saguenay today. Go to www.thekingdomofsaguenay.net or spirituallyraw.com.
Change Change your state, change your life in just 1 minute. Instantly access your heart center for positive life changes, improve self-confidence, and live the good life.
Learn the Minute Method, the key to life. Receive immediate phenomenal results with little effort. Find out more about a diet for the soul, the Minute Method. Go to theminutemethodteaching.com or purchase your copy today at amazon.com.
As a youngster, Frederick George knew something was wrong and felt shunned by the man he thought was his father. 57 years later, he discovered the startling truth. He was switched at birth. Read his compelling true life story about 2 baby boys switched at birth who would later cross paths in many ways. Switched at Birth, Nature versus Nurture. Purchase your copy today. Go to switchedatbirth.org.
Well, I like country mixed with rock and roll. 'Cause together the funky down to your soul.
All right, everybody, and welcome back to Spiritually Raw. You were just witnessing Nikki Jacobs.
I'll tell you, we get psychics on all the time. If I needed any type of, advice, spiritually speaking, if I was having any issues in my life, I would definitely use her. Or if I wanted to connect with somebody that crossed over.
Mickey's like a bull out of a china cabinet.
Yes, she is.
She don't let you sit down and lick your wounds for nothing.
No, all 3 of us felt like we just had an adrenaline shot of B12.
Get your ass up and shake it off and start moving. That's what she's about. Good,
We
good
gotta
job.
keep going,
Good job.
Jay.
So let's keep moving. Who's up next?
Anne Rich, she says, what if you could remember who you were before you were born into this existence? Anne has been studying human psychology, New Age mysticism, ancient history, religion, and philosophy for over 20 years. She has a master's in psychology, and she developed and taught psych courses including Exploring the Unconscious and Myth and Gender. She's the author of a paranormal fiction novel, My 33rd Life on Planet Earth, Secrets from the Ninth Dimension.
All right, let's welcome Anne back to the show. Anne, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you? I can verify everything that was just talked about on the show.
Yeah, you can?
Wow.
Including the part about the kind of impish spirit guides.
Yeah?
I've had personal experience with that this last couple of years. In fact, I was introduced to one.
Like, give us an example.
Dennis. I was introduced when I was having a reading done, and I was introduced to, this kind of trickster.
What did he do to you?
If you will.
No, Dennis is a spirit guide trickster?
He told me a bunch of
trickster.
stuff.
Okay.
What's that?
He kind of set me up for all these things that I thought were going to happen, and then they just ripped the carpet out from under my feet. And it was really difficult to understand the purpose of this.
So what do you think? How long did this relationship with Dennis go on?
Hold on, I want to get this in perspective. Is Dennis the spirit guide?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
He's the trickster spirit
So your spirit
guide.
guide was punking you.
Right.
Yes, he was.
Oh, man.
So that's
what I found out, what I eventually found out is, what's happening through all of my little, shredding of ego is that I was becoming much more easygoing, less apt to get my buttons pushed by people. Like, I had to do a series of interviews about Easter, and I talked to a lot of right-wing fundamentalist Christian people, and normally I would get my buttons pushed by that, and I didn't. I was really calm and collected, and I didn't get on them for their beliefs, and I just tried to explain very calmly what my beliefs were, and that's something that 2 years ago I wouldn't have been able to do. So it's been a very difficult process.
Yeah.
Now, do you talk to Dennis yourself, or is this still through
No,
someone else?
I don't. I don't like Dennis. I'm
Dennis?
pissed off.
Yeah, are you? I'd be more.
So you gave Dennis the boot?
Yeah, so Dennis, you fired
No,
Dennis, huh?
I don't know if Dennis
Dennis
is
the
left
Menace.
yet. I don't know.
What's that?
I've been introduced, since I've been involved in this kind of thing for like, I'd say since the 90s, I've been introduced to several different spirit guides as I go along my process.
Have you connected
Who
with...
introduces you?
Pardon?
How do you get this introduction?
Usually through dreams or through Dr. Peebles, the channel that I
talked to. Oh, I remember Dr.
Right.
Peebles.
Dr.
Okay.
Peebles.
Now I remember.
Remember I left that out of the equation?
Okay, okay.
She's Dr. Peebles.
Dr. Peebles you still connect with, right? And he's, so does Dr.
I do.
So Dr. Peebles is someone else's guide, but is introducing you to your guide, right?
Sometimes he won't tell me who my guides are.
Sometimes
Yeah.
he won't. So is there any new ones that have come up that are... What's that?
Huh?
She doesn't connect to anyone directly, if I remember correctly.
Right,
Someone
she
else
goes
connects
through
for
Dr.
her.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Well, I do through dreams.
She does through
Yeah.
dreams.
Oh,
though.
okay.
Yeah, she does through
So,
dreams.
but you were introduced to Dr. Peebles by someone else, right?
Right.
Yes, exactly.
That's yeah, okay.
And so any new guides out there with you right now, or anybody floating around, and how are they doing?
Well, after the last round I've had with Dennis, I was kind of to the point, I keep being told that I'm kind of coming to the end of my incarnation on Earth and that kind of thing. And I'm going to have to go through all this stuff.
Oh, wait a minute. Is somebody telling you you're going to kick the bucket?
No, just that I'm not going to be coming back to Earth. Maybe.
Oh, this is your... I got you. This is your...
Yeah,
wow. Oh, that's pretty heavy. So, okay, so
if
cool.
I can get through all this stuff that they're throwing at me, and they've been throwing a lot at me, actually. And, it starts out all very copacetic. You have all this energy. I've been doing this for at least 20 years. And when it gets down to the end, you have to get, you have to really come to terms with deep down stuff you haven't wanted to look at before.
Okay, let me ask you this. Just in, I know we got a lot to cover here with you. Let's talk about this ninth dimension. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this ninth dimension. People keep asking me about it, and the thing is, the book is a paranormal fiction, so I just made that up.
Okay, gotcha.
I was wondering about that.
Okay, along with the 333, the 333rd life, right?
Yeah, I just like,
you like threes and
9
nines.
is kind of a cool number. 9 is, you can multiply 9 times any number, and the sum of that, like if you multiply 3 times 9, you get 27, and you add 2 and 7, it always equals 9. So 3 times 9 is 27, 2 and 7 is 9, 4 times 9 is 36, 3 and 6 is 9, and you can go on and on and on and on.
That's how you know if
and
a
add
number
that
is
up.
divisible by 9.
Yes, exactly. And I
Or
just thought 9 was kind of a magical number, so I just went with that.
333 added together is 9.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
Learn a lot on the show.
Let me ask you a question then. In your book, you talk about the great reptilian beasts, and you also talk about Atlantis and Lemuria.
Turtle Man.
What's that?
Yes.
Turtle Man.
Turtle Man. So, did you do any research, or have you ever had any experiences with reptilians, or did you just make the whole darn thing up?
Well, the great reptilian beasts are the dinosaurs. And there's a sub-story going along in the book that talks about how humankind first ended up on Earth, how it was first created, what happened, how the so-called fall happened. It's like essentially these spirits came down, they manifested in earthly matter, and they were so blown away by the sensory experiences of earthly matter that they kind of went a little berserk.
So what's the interpretation in your book on how Earth started?
That's how it is. That's how it starts out. I mean, essentially what happened was that there are these spirit beings that go around it's kind of like Ancient Aliens on the History Channel if you
I
watch
love that show all the time.
But it's more spiritual, a little bit more metaphysical, in that these spirits kind of look at these planets, see which might be a good planet to cultivate a new civilization. So they came to Earth, they seeded Earth, comets we know that comets seed the Earth. So there is kind of a science fiction element in throughout the book. Because
let me ask you this. I want to jump back here just a little bit, rewind just for a second here. Are you still going to the same people that are introducing you, like the same person, or is it different people that bring out like the Dr. Peebles character or other ones?
The same person. It's the same person. There's other people who also channel Dr. Peebles.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I met one actually over the internet. And I knew that there were two in the Los Angeles area who channeled Dr. Peebles. I'm originally from Los Angeles, and that's how I met my channel for Dr. Peebles. But, I've been going to him. He has been the sole person I have actually gone to for the past, it's been since 1990.
Do you ever try to do it yourself?
Oh, I have, and I write, and I kind of channel energy through my writing a lot. Because the book I started writing is not the book I intended to write at all. I kept
we hear that a lot from people.
What, that the book there was different?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
once
you got to be
start plugging into that writing, you kind of are in a meditative state, and you start writing things. In fact, I'd be so blown away by what I wrote at times. I would just have to put the book down and not write for like about 3 or 4 weeks.
I hate to call it
the stuff.
I hate to call it imagination because in some sense I guess it is some reality there to it, but you got a hell of one there. You know what I mean? So you must be channeling something to give you this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes. I mean, I'm writing a book about a young girl who's growing up in the 1950s and 60s, and she has these really surrealistic encounters with spirits who are telling her all this stuff, usually trying to get her to cultivate gentle love and compassion and forgiveness. And at the same time, they're also telling her how things got so weird on Earth. They're telling her about the ancient history, like, women, for example, women used to be highly revered on this planet in ancient times. Men used to dress like women.
What are you looking at me for? What the hell are you looking at me for?
I'm agreeing because you think about it. I mean, men still wear kilts today.
Yeah, early priesthoods used to dress like women because women, all of this stuff was based on ignorance of the human reproductive cycle. So it was early on believed that women, their menstrual blood is what created life. They didn't know that, there was sperm and that the woman had an ovum and the man had semen and that created a life. They always thought it was from the woman's menstrual cycle. So women were held in this great revere and awe, and men actually, in some cultures, would castrate themselves to be like women.
That sucks. Because they didn't to be like women. They castrated themselves.
Yes, yeah, they would dress up. Yeah, they would castrate. They'd go through this. There was this huge, usually spring rituals where they would in ancient Phrygia, where Turkey is today. They had this great ancient festival, Attis and the goddess Cybele, and the priest of Attis, who were in service of the goddess, would castrate themselves. Yes.
Yeah, let me see you do that, Jamie.
What? Castrate himself?
Oh
Why would you
the reason for it was
no,
he's saying he's like crying like a baby, like what?
Well, yeah, I would be crying like a baby if I did something like that happened to me.
It sounds horrible. It's self-denigrating to men, actually, and it was based on ignorance that, they thought that women were these powerful, magical beings. Not only could they give life with their menstrual blood, but their menstrual blood cycles were magically linked to the cycles of the moon, the lunar calendar, 28-day lunar calendar, 28-day menstrual cycle. So there was a lot of awe and reverence for women back then. And then somehow, and I'm thinking women had to have told men that they figured out that men played a part in creating life.
Men had something to do with it?
Yeah, and then it went the whole other way. Then men went crazy. You know, they thought that their semen was the only thing that created life. They didn't realize at the time that women had the ova that also in part created life. They just thought women were the soil for their seed to grow. They passed the soul along to the child, that women were just second, and women just took a dive. And that's where we're kind of recuperating now as far as the attitudes towards men and women of today.
So, Anne, let me ask you something. Do you feel like, so you mentioned earlier that, you know, you feel like this is going to be your last incarnation. Do you have any idea where you're going to be going?
I don't know. I hope I can get through this little series of tests they're putting me through.
Yeah.
To the moon.
Okay, so you're still...
I mean, it's been hairy. I've just felt like, you know, actually, I have to tell you, I'm in a really good place to go through these. I don't have to work. I'm financially stable. I have a really nice house. I've been taken care of that way in order to go through these tests. But it's been really, really hard the past couple of years. It's been really good to listen to the other two speakers you have on because it's reminded me of stuff I kind of forgot about and I needed to hear.
Is there any part of you that, Anne, that feels like you attract these tests to you in some way?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you have to, I mean, I know that I wanted to know certain things, and you know, the thing is, you know, that old saying about be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I don't know, you start getting up, you start evolving, and you start moving up the chain of evolution, and the tests kind of get tougher.
Yeah, they do.
I guess they do get a little tougher again. All right, Anne, very cool stuff there. Anne, where can everybody buy your book?
Either Amazon.com or BarnesandNobles.com, or you could go into any bookstore and order it.
Any bookstore and order it. Okay, right on, everybody. That is Anne
Yes.
Presidio Rich. Very cool lady. I love her. Preciado. I love her imagination or her belief.
Well done.
Well done. Very
Thank
well
you.
done. You're
Thank
quite
you.
welcome.
Well, you know what? You guys have a great show here. I'm just going to
Thank you very much.
Tell all your friends.
You just introduced so many concepts to people, and you know, there's so many people out there that are really hungry to hear this.
You know what? You say it right. There's a sprinkle of truth in everything, I think.
Yeah.
And I agree with you that there is a sprinkle of truth in everything out there.
And that's why everything's got to be heard,
Yes.
Or wouldn't have been said.
investigated, researched, studied,
It does.
learned.
And I think that's the only way we're going to evolve past all the ridiculous things we've learned about ourselves.
All the googly guff.
Yes, yeah. One of the things that I really touch upon is in the book is the conflict between spirit and matter, and that our whole attitude towards our bodies. And you know, I was brought up Christian, which I gave up a long time ago. But you know, you have the Christian attitude towards sex, which isn't a very good thing. That sex is not a really good thing, and that the only way you can get to heaven is through dying. But you know, Jesus never talked about heaven as being any place else but on earth.
That's true.
And you can't really have a heavenly existence if you don't feel good about your body.
No, you can't.
If you don't feel good if you can't, I mean, sex is one of the most enjoyable things.
Anne, that's another show, Love Bug. Listen, we got to fly, everybody. That's Anne, everybody. Check her out. Buy her book. You already know where to get it from.
Thank you.
Check her out on Spiritually Raw TV also. Thank you. We enjoyed it. Hope you did on this. Or we enjoyed it. Hope you did on your night.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and remember, tune in often, tell all your friends, and most important, may all your dreams come true. Many blessings.
Well done, you guys.
On a new project, and it's an environmental project.
Yes, this is a cause near and dear to my heart. All the information is on my website, thesurflady.com, but basically there is a Pacific Ocean trash vortex. There is a plastic island of floating trash the size of the continental United States.
And so you're going to be contacting businesses with your phone, and you're going to be documenting that, right?
I'm going to be documenting it. We need to move away from plastic.
Okay, so anyone who wants information on your latest project or what you've told us this morning can go to your website, and they can also go to ours. We'll link her information to our website. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
I appreciate
you,
it. Okay,
really
Bethany,
happy
Paul.
to be here.
Yeah.
Now I've become aware of the Pacific Ocean trash vortex, and this is what I'm going to dedicate my life to. Otherwise, we won't even have a life to dedicate anything to. Basically, there is an island of plastic floating garbage in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.